Hello everyone, I just want to go over some very quick and basic maintenance things that you can do to your Windows 10 computer. This can also apply to Windows 8 and Windows 8.1, but a few of these things cannot apply to Windows 7, and I do highly recommend you update to Windows 10 if you are on 7. So, the first thing I want to go ahead and do is get updates. You want to make sure your computer is always up to date, so it's optimized at its fullest. And you want to also make sure it's updated because of security purposes. If there's any backdoors or any glitches inside the Windows system, Antivirus cannot protect you against those. Okay, so for me, I'm currently all up to date. I did my updates yesterday. But depending on how often you actually do your updates, or if you have your automatic updates on or not, obviously this will this could have a list of things that you need to update. And look, please spend the extra 10 minutes out of the time you are on your computer just updating and restarting the machine. You can use your phone. You can do it before you go to bed. Just make sure you always update your computer. Always have an antivirus. Now, me, personally, I prefer malware. Paid and free versions are both good. Obviously, you might have your own personal preference. You might pay for an antivirus. Go ahead and just run it. Make sure to run it every now and then just to make sure that, that it's up to date. And you want to also make sure that your system is safe and secure and does not have any viruses. Now, scanning your system may vary from how often you do scan, how slow or how fast your system runs on some of the hardware, and that also can depend on what antivirus you have. Mine can go from anywhere about 2 minutes to about 10 minutes. Just depends on how often I scan. Mine, since I pay for malware, I have automatic scans which scan halfway through the night. So, okay, so here we are. All right, so it says here a threat scan summary. Obviously, this is going to differ from antivirus to antivirus. But for my malware, I have no threats. Earlier, I did have a few. So anyhow, everything is okay here. So now, now I know that my computer is secure. I'm going to go ahead and exit that out. I'm going to go and since I have no updates or anything, I'm going to exit that out. Then I'm going to perform a defragmentation. Okay. All right. Type in the search bar down at the bottom in your Windows. Defragment and optimize drives. Okay, so the reason why you want to defragment and optimize your drives is because when you write data to your hard drive, those bits of data get written to different locations where there were empty pockets of maybe where you deleted a photo or a small video. Then when you, let's say, download or upload or put something on the computer that is a big file, little bits of that big file are actually stored in those tiny little pockets, and it makes the hard drive have to work a lot harder to go find those bits around the drive. Defragmenting actually goes around and picks up that data and puts it all together. So let's say all of your stuff relating to Chrome is all in one area, so the hard drive only has to do one go around to pick up that data. So your Chrome or your let's say VLC or your video game or anything, it will actually open up a lot faster, and your games will load up. Let's say levels will load up a lot faster too. If you have a solid state drive, this is not necessary at all. You do not need to do this. If I'm correct, possibly Windows 10 won't even let you defragment that drive. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is actually go down here and go to Control Panel. So Control, then go here. Then obviously this is what mine looks like. But if you go up here to the top, yours might look like this. So I do this. I go down to large icons, then I go over to programs and features. Now, in here, this is all of the applications that you have on your computer. Now, I recommend that you uninstall anything that you do not use or need. Well, anything you don't use. So, for example, maybe an old phone application that worked with your old iPhone or something. I'd recommend getting rid of it because it might actually be running in the background, taking up your computer's resources when it's doing its updates. But there's no point in doing updates for something that you don't even use anymore. So, obviously, this helps with storage, and this also helps with, like I said, updates and such. Okay, so, once you're done with that, there you go. Let's exit that out. Now, another thing you want to do is, go into Task Manager. So type in Task Manager and open. Okay, so then right here, yours might look like this. So go to More Details, then go into Startup. Startup is where all of your applications are that start up when the computer gets turned on. For example, Steam would be in this category. It's not on here for mine for some reason, but just to say mine's disabled. So, for example, when Steam runs its updates, obviously, it takes up computer resources to do the updates for that. So, if let's say you're getting on the computer, not even to use Steam, you're only going to be using it for work or something. You don't need Steam to be updating and making your computer slow in the beginning. So you can go down. Imagine AnyDesk is Steam. Go down, right click it, then click Disable. Now, if you want it to come back, right click it and click Enable. Then it will enable it, and then it'll resume what it was doing in the beginning. So, as you can see here, I have certain applications running and certain applications off. I have the ones for Intel and for my computer, Dell, turned on, but actually I don't have anything for Dell in here. But I have Intel and Realtek. I usually make sure these stay on because those are actually the important applications that kind of need to run, and so I don't have to turn them on myself. Anyhow, those usually won't affect your performance. Okay, so let's exit that out. All right, now, these two final ones aren't absolutely necessary, but I do find them useful, especially if you, let's say, had just dealt with maybe dropping a laptop or dropping a hard drive or banging your computer around or something, or maybe you had just gotten rid of a bunch of viruses. Type in CMD. Wait, let's click it. CMD, or you can type in Control Panel. Then go over and click Run as Administrator. Then you'll come up with an interface, and you want to select yes. That just approves that you allow Chrome that you allow the command prompt to open up as or with administrative privileges. Type in SFC /scan_now with no spaces. Then hit enter. The system file checker does what it says. It checks all of the system files and makes sure everything is intact and everything is okay. This is obviously good for, especially after you, let's say, gotten rid of a bunch of viruses. This will actually check all your system files and makes sure that the virus did no damage to them, and if it did, it can repair those files. This can help in case if, let's say, your computer crashes or something. If it crashes or glitches out a lot, you want to make sure to do a system file checker, because this will check your Windows system to make sure everything is running okay. And if it's not, then it's going to go ahead and do automatic repairs. And if you're online, meaning connected to the internet, it should be able to just pull those files out as needed. You might have to have an installation disk with you if you do not have internet access. Okay, so the verification thing had just complete. It takes about 10-20 minutes. Like I said, it just varies on machine to machine and how much you have running. So if everything went okay, it's going to say Windows Resource Protection did not find any integrity violations. So obviously this is good and okay. Now, if something goes wrong, it's actually going to tell you that there is something wrong, and it's going to go ahead and try and start fixing that. Now, another thing you want to do is this: chkdsk. This is referred as a check disk. This checks the integrity of your hard drive. It makes sure everything is okay, and if there's any bad or damaged sectors, parts of your hard drive, it writes them off so they can't be written onto. Because if you write data onto those bad sectors, pardon me, obviously that data ends up being unreadable, and it corrupts the whole file or portions of it, or makes some of it unreadable, or can cause a whole slew of different problems. So I mean, obviously, you don't have to do this one all the time, but it is highly recommended that you do this every now and then. And I do this on my laptops a lot, especially if I, let's say, drop it, or I bang it around a little bit too much, or it's been on a long car ride or something while it's been on. So, you know, obviously, this just makes sure that if there's any bad sectors, they can't be used, which obviously would cause problems later down the road. Okay, so as I'm looking through my really crappy list, I can see there's nothing else. This is actually the exact plan that I go through when working on most people's slow machines. Now, obviously, this is actually a very broad thing. This is broad. This covers a whole host of different things. Obviously, there's a few extra things that I do, but that would also vary machine to machine. But this is what I do overall to fix a slow machine. So anyway, let me know what you think, and tell me if there's anything I should add. Tell me if you think. Tell me what you think I should do next. Because I was thinking I could go over how to prevent getting viruses, but really that's more of a common sense thing. But that's for a whole nother. But that's for a whole nother video. So anyway, we'll leave it at that. Anyway, I want to say thanks for watching this video. My name is Jeremiah, and I will see you guys all later. Have a fantastic day.